Hey there, Cinemaster fans. Hope you're ready for some movie magic. Let's dive right in. The film The Call Up begins with 8 people who are fans of electronic games. They are in a gaming company that is holding a competition for the best player in a virtual game called The Call Up, which is a new game the company has launched on the market. They are testing the game through this competition, and the prize for the competition is $100,000. Suddenly, a robotic voice appears and tells them everything about the competition, saying that it is their guide and will explain all the rules of the game. The robot orders them to leave all their personal belongings and register themselves with pseudonyms in the game, and not to address each other except by these names. Then, the robot orders them to wear the official game uniform. After a while, all the players put on the official uniform, and the robot tells them to enter the room designated for the game. When they enter, they find a scanning device in front of them. They have to identify themselves to the device and say their pseudonyms. After that, they wear armor made with very advanced technology that allows them to enter a virtual world similar to the real world. They actually put on the armor, and a player named Zahed says he doesn't want to participate in the game and tries to leave through the door, but he panics when he finds the door locked. Then, they hear the robot's voice again telling them that one of the rules of the game is that they cannot withdraw until they complete all the game's missions, and the game will not start until all players wear their armor. A girl named Taylor tells Zahed that it's better to put on the armor so they can start the game and that it's just a virtual game, nothing more. Zahed is convinced, and they all put on their helmets. Suddenly, the place transforms, and they enter the virtual world. They notice that their clothes have changed to commando suits, and they are amazed to be inside a virtual world that looks exactly like the real world, to the extent that they can't distinguish between the two worlds. A player named Socks tries to grab a bottle, but his hand passes through it because he is in a virtual, not real world. Then, an army colonel enters and welcomes them, telling them he is their commander in the game and that they must follow all his orders and complete the required missions to win the game. In the end, the player with the highest score will be the winner and will get the $100,000 prize. A girl named Shelly tries to touch the colonel to see if he is a real person, but her hand passes through him, so she understands he is a virtual character. They all take off their helmets to check if he is a real player, but they discover he is just part of the game, so they return to the game again. The colonel takes them to the weapons room, and they take their weapons. There is a player named Stride who is amazed by his gun because it looks very real. The colonel starts training them on the weapons and orders them to shoot at empty bottles. A player named Reaper shoots at the bottle but fails, and the rest try like him but also fail, except for Stride, who is the only one who shoots well because he was a soldier in the army. Then, the colonel tells them that the bulletproof vest protects them only once. If any of them is injured, the vest will disappear, and without it, if they are injured, they will lose in the game. The colonel shoots at Zahed and a player named Atlas to prove to them that this is not a joke. Afterward, their armor is restored, and he tells them there is a serum in the game called the Revival Serum that will heal them if their health bar drops. Stride takes the serum and gives each of them 1 dose. The colonel tells them that the building is full of terrorists, and their mission is to kill the terrorists and get out of the building alive. The first one to leave the building will win. That's all the information about the game. The colonel orders them to start, and they all follow Stride as their leader due to his army experience. They start searching all the doors on the first floor. Suddenly, a terrorist appears, and they hide from him, but Stride kills him. The robot tells them they have passed the first level, but the penalty is losing all the points they earned, and they have to start over. They get to know their new weapons and how to use them, then go out to start the new phase of the game. They storm a room on the second floor, and an armed terrorist appears whom Atlas kills. He gathers his courage and, along with 2 others, goes to kill more terrorists. Reaper enters on one of the terrorists and shoots at him, but the bullets don't hit. The terrorist tries to kill Reaper, but Stride saves him at the last moment, but the bullet hits Stride, and his armor disappears. At this moment, Taylor is devastated when she hears the gunfire, so Shelly tries to calm her down. Taylor says she gets panic attacks when she hears gunfire and wants to leave the game immediately. Shelly tells her that everything happening is not real, and that it's just a virtual game. Shelly tries to kill the terrorist in front of her but can't because she's afraid. Socks comes and kills the terrorist, and is happy to have scored a point. Suddenly, another terrorist comes and shoots at Socks, making him lose his bulletproof vest. Socks raises his hand to surrender, but the terrorist shoots him and kills him. Shelly then kills the terrorist and goes to Socks, finding him screaming in pain. She removes his helmet to return him to the real world, but he keeps screaming even in the real world, saying he feels pain and something is wrong. Then he returns to the virtual world, and Stride comes and gives him the revival serum. Socks gets up, but in bad shape, and returns to the real world, semi-conscious. they all return to the real world, and Socks tells them he was really in shock and almost died. They conclude that dying in the virtual world means dying in the real world, and that the helmets they are wearing must have electric shock devices that shock the brain, causing death in the real world. Zahed tries to remove the helmet, but to no avail. He can't take it off. The helmet is secured with a password, and only the gaming company can unlock it. Atlas accuses Stride of working for the gaming company, and that they put him with them to make sure no one wins. And the proof is Stride's knowledge of all the weapons in the game. Stride tells them he was a soldier in the army, and has always tried to help them, but unfortunately, no one believes him. He gets angry and goes to the bathroom, not knowing the game is still on. He returns to the game and finds a terrorist behind him who shoots him. He looks for his revival serum but can't find it because he already gave it to Socks. At this time, the players hear the robot's voice telling them the game is still ongoing and the level is not over yet. They return to the game and a terrorist appears and shoots at a player named Edward. They all get scared and scatter, so Edward injects himself with the revival serum and saves himself at the last moment. Ryber is hiding with Atlas because they were attacked by the terrorists, and by luck, Ryber throws a grenade at the terrorists and kills them all. On the other side, Street is crawling on the ground, injured, looking for someone to help him, but to no avail. At that moment, all the players come out after getting rid of the terrorists, and the robot tells them that they have passed the second level, and the winner of this stage, with the highest score, is Ryber. Socks interrupts them and tells them that he hears someone screaming, so they all return to the real world and find Street in the real world with a brain injury. Suddenly, his helmet lights up and he dies. All the players go to Street and try to save him, but unfortunately, he is dead, and they are all shocked when they see blood coming out of his head. He asks them to hit his helmet, and Socks decides to help him. He takes the fire extinguisher and hits the helmet, but unfortunately, he fails, as the helmet is very sturdy and unbreakable. Suddenly, they hear a voice in the game, so they return to the virtual world. The Colonel comes and hits Zaid, telling him that if he tries to escape from the game again, his fate will be death. Then he leaves them, and the third level of the game begins, and they are all forced to continue playing. They go down to the third floor, and this time their skills in the game improve. But while they are killing the terrorists, Ryber gets injured, so Shelly goes to help him. Suddenly, Socks gets injured, and Shelly hesitates to give either of them the revival serum she has. Atlas comes and injects Socks with the serum, so Shelly goes to save Ryber. The third level ends, and Atlas has the highest score among them. They return to the real world and all regret entering this game. Socks gets angry and tries to break the room window, and Zaid comes and tries to help as well. This time, the glass is about to break, but suddenly they hear the Colonel's voice shouting, so they enter the game again. The Colonel stands in front of Zaid and hits him until he breaks his legs in the virtual world, and when he returns to the real world, Zaid's legs are broken and he can't continue the game. He tells them to leave him and continue without him, so they carry Zaid and hide him so no one sees him, then return to the game and start the fourth level. The fourth level begins and the terrorists shoot at them, and they all scatter. During their fight with the terrorists, Atlas gets injured, so Shelly comes and injects him with the revival serum. Tyrell escapes to the bathroom because she's scared of the terrorists, and a terrorist follows her into the bathroom, but she manages to kill him with a knife. When her teammate comes in, they can't believe that Tyrell killed someone because she's always scared. She gets angry at them and tells them she's fed up with this game and wants to leave. After a while, they all rest and start to get to know each other and talk about their real lives. We learn that Shelly and Socks lived alone, and their families have died. Ryber lives with his grandmother who has Alzheimer's. Atlas divorced his wife, and his wife took their only daughter to live with her, and Edward lived in an orphanage. Socks tells them the company chose them specifically to play this game because they're sure that if something happens to any of them, no one will look for them, since they don't have family to search for them. The only way to get out of this game is to help each other until they finish all the missions. Suddenly, they hear the robot's voice telling them they must return to the game. They go to the Colonel to see their new mission and find him torturing a terrorist. The Colonel tells them there's a bomb in the building they're in, and the bomb is activated by a password. Their new mission is to torture the terrorist until he tells them the password, and if they crack the terrorist, the game will end and they'll win. Edward goes and electrocutes the terrorist to make him say the password. The terrorist confesses and tells them the password. Ryber writes the password on the computer, but suddenly the bomb activates and will explode in 30 minutes. The terrorist laughs and they discover he tricked them and gave them the password that activates the bomb. Atlas shouts at Ryber for rushing and writing the password. Tyrell gets angry at the terrorist and kills him. Then Atlas returns to the real world, removes Ryber's helmet, and hits him. Tyrell tries to stop him, but he hits her too. They try to calm Atlas down so they can think of a solution. Suddenly, they hear the Colonel's voice and return to the game. They find the Colonel holding the elevator door and ordering them to enter quickly before it closes so they can go and stop the bomb. Meanwhile, Socks and the rest of the team are thinking of a plan to find the bomb. Afterwards, they go to the weapons room and leave. Suddenly, a gas bomb is thrown at them, and Socks gets scared and hides. So, Shelly goes to check on him and finds him completely devastated. He tells her that his fiancée died burned and he couldn't save her. Shelly understands that he had a panic attack when he saw the smoke and remembered his fiancée. At that moment, Atlas threatens Ryber to make him walk in front of him and use him as a shield so that if the terrorists shoot, they hide behind Ryber. Ryber shoots at the terrorist, but the gun is empty, so the terrorist comes and kills Ryber. Ryber dies, and Atlas hides because his weapon has no ammo, crying because he's afraid he'll die. On the other side, Socks and the rest of the team are fighting the terrorists, and they run out of revival serum. Taylor goes to look for it, and when she reaches the weapons room, she finds only one dose. Atlas comes and tries to take it from her by force, but Taylor refuses. Atlas gets angry, kills her, takes the revival serum, and leaves. Socks goes to get ammo from the weapons room, meets Atlas, and asks him about Taylor. Atlas lies and says he hasn't seen her, then leaves. After that, Socks enters the ammo room and is shocked to find Taylor dead and sees Atlas's name written in blood on the wall. He realizes Taylor wrote it to warn him. Socks gets furious, returns to the real world, and strangles Atlas, but Atlas stops him and tries to shoot him with a pistol. Socks returns to the game, and Colonel attacks and strangles Atlas for killing his teammate in the game, killing Atlas too. In the game, Shelly is shocked to find Taylor dead. They go to the weapons room to start the final stage. Only Socks, Shelly, and Edward are left in the game. They go to the warehouse with the bomb they're supposed to stop to finish the game. As soon as they enter, a terrorist shoots at them, and Socks is injured. When he tries to use the revival weapon, Shelly also gets injured. Socks sacrifices the remaining serum to revive Shelly and asks her to win the game and live. Then he dies. Just before the bomb explodes, Edward goes and stops it. Shelly is devastated because Socks died and sacrificed himself for her. Then the Colonel appears and congratulates Edward and Shelly for finishing and winning the game. Shelly notices that Edward is repeating after the Colonel and realizes he is the owner of the game. Suddenly, the whole game simulation disappears, and they return to the real world. Security guards from the game company arrive, inject Shelly with a sedative, and she loses consciousness. The company's computer erases all data of the players who died. After a while, Shelly wakes up in the same place, not wearing the game outfit. Edward comes with a bag containing the game's reward, congratulates her for winning, and tells her he didn't expect anyone to come out alive. Shelly confronts him, saying he caused her teammates' deaths in the game and that she'll report him to the police. He tells her no one will believe her, and the police will think she's crazy because the game hasn't even been announced yet and no one knows about it. He advises her to take the money and forget everything that happened, then leaves. One of the security guards comes to sedate her again, but she attacks and sedates him instead, takes his gun, turns off all the lights, and kills all of Edward's men. Edward stands there nervous and very scared. When it's his turn, he begs her not to kill him and offers her any amount of money she wants, but Shelly ignores him and kills him. Thus, Shelly succeeds in avenging all her teammates who died in the game and becomes the only survivor. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos. See you next time.